Hi, it's Colin Coward. I started The Volume to bring you some of the most authentic voices in sports. While you're here, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks.
Kevin Durant scored 55 in a loss for the Nets. I continue to be just beyond fucking excited for the East playoffs. But what I wanted to talk about with KD was our good friend Logan Murdock had a great profile on him.
What a fucking article, bro.
Great article.
What
definitely
an
go
article,
read it.
man.
All three of us retweeted it, but definitely go read that if you haven't seen it already. Logan is really fucking just fast laning it, bro.
He's so good, and he's like
so many
he's like
things.
14 years old, bro.
I know. Makes me it disgusts me every time we talk to him.
The way I think this is I honestly feel like this was the most human that KD seemed in an article. Does that make sense? Like I look at him and he's like just a basketball player. KD showed more of him in this article. You know, like, and I always said like him and Kyrie are two of the most relatable because of like how they deal with the media, but I didn't really understand their personalities. I felt like I actually like understood KD's personality and how he operates that way. And I've read so many KD articles over his 15 years in the league. And this was the one where I was like, oh, things make sense now. Even Kyrie Irving to a degree and their friendship, it makes sense. Good. I mean, so yo, Logan, bro, special dude. It was fire.
He's been earning that story since, for a long time, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I think that's part of it. But KD introduced what I think is a much better and more interesting hoop convo. We're not going to go through and pick it, but I just love this. He said it was cool being on the NBA 75 list. And he knows at this point, he got a couple shots off at Nick Wright, but I think he knows at this point, 40 years from now, I don't think we're going to be looking back at a KD era of the NBA. Mm-hmm. I think we agree. Incredible player. And the way he said it was cool to be in the top 75. But what I feel like is in the history of the NBA, if you had LeBron James and Michael Jordan pick teams to play 5-on-5, I'd be on the team. I love that way. First of all, yes, he's totally right.
No doubt.
Right? We all agree with that. But also, this is such a better conversation around basketball than, is KD better than LeBron? Is KD choking because the Nets lost after he scored 55? I just love that. And I would love for him to be a part of pivoting the conversation to something that's more collaborative and interesting like that than just one-to-one comparisons all the time with nothing else thrown in for variety. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That 5-on-5 pickup game is a way more fun hypothetical. I've always said in that hypothetical, Shaq is my first pick, especially if it's called your own fouls. If it's called your own fouls, bro, what are you going to do with that? Shaq is powering through them little weak-ass hacks and dunking you through the motherfucking concrete. If it's called your own fouls in the pickup game, Shaq will be my first pick, bro.
I fuck with that.
Did that article make you understand, like, remember when he was like, because you were casual?
Mm-hmm.
Does that article make you think about that situation a little different? I'm wondering. Like, I just felt like he really thinks he's normal. KD really thinks he's normal. You know what I mean? I mean, and I think like I don't think he was really trying to come at you on some. I mean, that was a hell of a lob he threw to get dunked on.
Yeah.
But, and the response was beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? After the shit, KD and we did a little more banter. It was all fucking jokes. I didn't take it any type of way other than a joke.
I know you did. I know you didn't at all. But it's just like I'm thinking like KD really doesn't understand. I mean, I think he understands how people. You know what I'm saying? Why people look at him that way, and he knows that he's not normal in the sense that like he walks down the street, people are like, "Oh, that's fucking Kevin Durant," and he gets that. But to him, he's just normal, and I think that's really endearing. I think very few people that are as good as he is at anything in this planet would just be comfortable with being normal or thinking of themselves as just normal. You know what I mean? And that's all he wants. Like he wants the respect from players. And respect from the game, not just maybe fans or like whatever. He wants to him the game matters. He wants to be respected within that. But outside of that, he just wants to be a dude. You know what I mean? And the fact that he started that podcast with Banksy, Bansky, is that how you? I think the S and the K is switched. But yeah, started that podcast because he just
with Eddie.
He said what?
with Eddie.
Eddie Gonzalez, yeah, you feel me?
Yeah,
Yeah, started with him. You know, there we go. That's so much easier. Thank you, Mike.
Yep.
you were rather in life, you know, in this moment. Like she's like, John, just make it easier on yourself. You try, you know, but you always choosing the hard route. But nah, for real, like starting that podcast and the way he got to doing that was just from him seeing himself as a regular human. I think that's so endearing. But right, there won't be a KD era, you know what I mean? But we can't deny that KD's one of the best motherfuckers ever touch a basketball.
Absolutely.
And that's
For sure.
So.
KD's a unique dude because, you know, he's one of the. It's like he's on some shit like I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time. If you say I'm not, you're lying to yourself, and I don't give a fuck about anything after that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like usually guys who think that highly of themselves want the praise and want all the fucking accolades heaped on them. And KD's not that dude. KD, like I pointed out before, KD has never, even on his burner accounts, he has never clapped back at someone who said he wasn't nice because he knows that's fucking ludicrous. He knows you're being ridiculous. There's no need to even entertain that shit. Where KD responds is when people talk about where he stands, you know, legacy wide and the bigger scheme of things with against the other immortals. Like, did that move to Golden State? Does that add some buts to your legacy? Does the fact that we never had an era where you were unanimously the best player in the league agreed by damn near everyone, does that affect your legacy? Like, that's when KD harps in because he's not competing with us. He's competing with the MJs and the Kareems and the Magics. That's how he looks at it.
And that's what he said. He said he respects everybody that's in front of him, right? But he's not competing with you. He's competing with the game. You know what I mean? And I think the way he looks at basketball, G, you know, like he said, like this is in my DNA. I am basketball. You feel what I mean? That I think that's just so beautiful. But I think that was the best article at really showing who KD is, who he truly is, and how he truly feels about himself. And we call him sensitive and all this shit. I don't think KD's sensitive. You know what I'm saying? I think KD is extremely confident. You know what I mean? I just feel like he is perceived in a way that he doesn't see himself at times. And I feel like this was the first article that I read that I felt like this was actually KD I was reading about, not somebody else's opinion of him.
I appreciated it filling in the gap for me a little bit. You know, I mean, I've been on the KD side of most arguments that involve KD. Because we've talked about it on the pod that you can have otherworldly talent and love doing something and just not like people looking at you and just not like all the shit that comes with that. We don't acknowledge that possibility very often, but that's the case with people, right? If you think about the people he's measuring himself against, and that rightfully so, talent-wise and accomplishment-wise, right? Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, all three of those dudes, number one, the way that they were measured by external standards was very important to them. Mm-hmm. Very important to them, right? But also, they were self-conscious about that. LeBron James's whole career, LeBron James was thinking about passing Kareem for the leading scorer in NBA history when he was 17 years old. KD was thinking about basketball. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's different. And I thought this article did a much better job, I agree with you, John, than anything else I'd read of explaining that. It's just a personality difference. It's not that he doesn't want, like you said, the respect and whatever else, but he's not thinking about. It's just like LeBron just grew up in a way that I don't think I can think of anyone else like him. I mean, it's
Zero.
like a Kennedy people. Or something, but coming from being homeless. Like he was 17 and the spotlight's on him for like, you're either going to be the best or second best player ever, or you failed. That's nuts. You know, KD just wanted to be in the gym.